What's goody? Hey man, so we need to talk about one team, and that one team is shockingly the Chicago Bulls, bro. This is a team that I absolutely did not expect to talk about for like the rest of the season after the trade deadline when they traded away Zach LaVine, but they have been absolutely hooping lately, bro. So I knew this was happening, right? Like I knew the Bulls have been winning a good amount lately, so I tuned in the other day after the Kings Bucks games to watch like the fourth quarter of Lakers Bulls, and literally what I saw was like, it left me in awe. Like I was genuinely in shock watching what I was watching. I watched Kobe White at the tail end of a 30-point night going out there getting some buckets, shooting some free throws, hitting some free throws after forcing a foul on a fast break. I watched Josh Giddey get back-to-back steals on like some sloppy Lakers slash LeBron possessions, and then I saw them flash the stat line where he already had a triple-double, and those last two steals he got were his seventh and eighth steals. The man almost had the first quadruple-double since David Robinson, I think, and Matas Buzelis put up a career high 30 points. Keep in mind, that man is a rookie. Like, once I seen all this, I literally turned the game off. Like, by the time that I had tuned in, the Lakers were already down by like 15. And when I turned the game off, the Lakers were down like 20, almost 30. And they ended up losing by about 30. So it was literally insane, bro. And this is something you could say is definitely like an indictment of the Lakers as well as like a credit to the Bulls. And the Lakers might get 100 bars from me in a couple videos just because of the fact that not just because of the fact, but like partially because of the fact that they sold my parlay last night against the Magic. Because how are you losing by 30 to one of the worst offenses in the NBA? Actually, I think it is the worst offense in the NBA. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the Bulls have been absolutely hooping. They've won 3 straight, and in those last 3 games, it was the Nuggets last night. With Jamal Murray, with Nikola Jokic there, it was the Nuggets last night. Let me make sure Jokic played, because he was a game-time decision. I'm 99.9% sure he played. I didn't actually watch that game, I'm not going to lie to you, which is why we're not going to go into depth about it, because I didn't watch it. It was on my parlay, though, and I was pissed. So he didn't play. Okay, so Jokic didn't play. So Jokic didn't play, but like Jamal Murray went out there and hooped. Peyton Watson hooped. Michael Porter Jr. had a decent game, and then DeAndre Jordan put up a double-double with 17 rebounds. I do remember seeing that. So Jokic didn't hoop. Okay, whatever. Still, they beat the Nuggets, and then the game before that they beat the Lakers, which is the game I just talked about, and the game before that they beat the Kings. And they play the Lakers again in like 2 days. I think they play the Lakers again on Thursday, which is their next game. But in all 3 of those wins, they've scored at least 125 points. They are 8-2 in their last 10 games. And specifically, the 2 people I want to talk the most about are Kobe White and Josh Giddey, bro. Kobe White is shooting almost 51% from the field, 37% from deep, and almost 90% from the free throw line in his last 10 games. In those last 10 games, the man is averaging 30 points, almost 31, 4.5 boards, and 3.5 assists. I don't know what it is but with Kobe White about March. Maybe he just like is trying to relive some March Madness, because I do believe that he did play in March Madness with UNC. I feel like I vaguely have memories of that and everything like that, because I remember like his post-draft interview when he got drafted, and I think Cam Johnson got drafted right after him, and I think him and Cam Johnson did play in March Madness. I'm like 99.9% sure they played in March Madness, so maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just him reliving those March Madness days, or he just gets hyped for March Madness, so that makes him hoop a whole lot better and everything like that. But bro, every March it seems like, for like since this man's been in the league, or at least for the last couple of years, the man plays like a superstar player. Like, do you understand how crazy it is to average 30? Like, Kobe White is a guy that if he didn't win Most Improved Player, he came very close to winning Most Improved Player. I don't actually remember if he won it or not, but like we know he's a hooper. But bro, averaging 30 is insane. And Josh Giddey has also been phenomenal lately. Let me actually pull up his numbers, because it looks like I forgot to pull up his numbers when I was like preparing for this video. But dude, let me just like, I'm just gonna look and see Josh Giddey's numbers and read them off to you, because over the last like 10, 11 games, Josh Giddey has been hooping. And even like defensively, now Josh Giddey's not a good defender, please don't get me wrong, but even like defensively, the man has been playing pretty well defensively, especially like in help defense situations and everything like that, which is something I noticed a little bit in the brief time that I watched during that Lakers game. But it's something that I also heard Kenny Beecham talk about on like his podcast, and maybe even numbers on the board, I don't remember, but I heard him talking about him, and I was like, let's see, you know what I'm saying, let me do my own research, let's actually look into it. And as I watched those couple of games, I was like, damn, he's not wrong. And Josh Giddey is somebody that was so bad, not just offensively but also defensively last year, especially in the playoffs, that the man was literally unplayable for the Thunder once it got to like the second round. Like, it was crazy. So Josh Giddey, right, over these no, bro, I don't want to see this. I want to see, like, hold on. Why isn't it doing what I want it to do? I don't know why it's not picking up what I want it to pick up, but let me just see. Like, I'm trying to get Basketball Reference to work with me a little bit here, and it clearly doesn't want to. All right, I don't care because I'm about to get upset. So over his last 10 games, right? Josh Giddey has been absolutely hooping. In those last 10 games, let me just read off his numbers for you because it's absolutely insane. So, in the first game against Orlando, the man put up 19 points, 9 assists, 13 boards. The next game against Miami, who is absolutely ass right now, but we're gonna ignore that for the time being because it's at, oh, there it is. Now it wants to work a little bit better for me. No, it doesn't. I lied. It doesn't actually want to work any better for me at all. It doesn't actually want to do what it's supposed to do. All right, whatever. The next game after this, so he was out for a couple of these games, you know what I'm saying? Everything like that. Like he didn't play for a couple of these games, but and then if we want to go back even further, let's go back to the last like 10 games that he played, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't plan for this as well as I should have. So going back to the game against Philly back on February 24th. In a 32-point win. The man put up 25, 16 boards, and 6 assists. Okay, the next game, 21 points, 12 assists, 8 boards. The next game, 19 points, 12 assists, 8 boards. The next game, 18.7 assists, 9 boards. The next game, 19 points, 9 assists, 13 boards. The next game, 26 points, 12 assists, 10 boards. The next game, 29 points, 10 boards. Then we go after that. He comes back from being injured for like 3 games. He played. He had 22.7 assists, 7 boards, and then against the Lakers, he was 15 points, 8 steals, 17 assists, and 10 rebounds. And he hit 4 of 9 3, or that's 2s. I was about to say, no, he didn't. Okay, but he's been shooting actually pretty decently from 3-point recently. Like, he hasn't been shooting a crazy volume or anything, but I'd say he's probably averaging about, 4 a game, 3.5 a game. He's been shooting pretty well on them. And then we go to the Denver game, which was last night. 26 points, 9 assists, 7 boards. Like, it doesn't even make sense, bro. Nobody was expecting this type of stuff from Josh Giddey, especially not after the trade, and then in the beginning of the season, he was playing like butt. So it's just like, nobody was expecting this for him, but here's the one thing I do have to say because my brain always goes here when it comes to streaks like this happening. It sucks for the Bulls because every single game that they win, their lottery odds get much worse, and they could really use a young superstar as this is a team with like little to no direction in the front office. This is a team that continually says that has a front office that continually says it's not okay with being mediocre, but every single year they finish with a mediocre record and finish with mediocre talent and everything like that. So this is just a team that could really, really use a young superstar to kind of like propel the team to maybe go into a rebuild or just help the city of Chicago have some life. But this also sucks for even further like future reasons because the way that Josh Giddey's playing, he's going to get $30 million this offseason, which is when I believe he's up for contract negotiation. But if it's not this offseason, it's the next. Like he's going to get upwards of $30 million. Kobe White going to get upwards of $30 million. I don't even remember if he already signed his contract, but I don't think he did. So he's going to get upwards of $30 million if he didn't already. So if the Bulls sign them both and give them the contracts that I believe they'll give them and give them the contracts that I believe most people think they'll give them, it's going to mean that they not only have locked in this backcourt for the next 4-ish years, it means that they're also spending $65, $60, $70 million annually on just this backcourt. And I just think that's a bad move because I don't think the backcourt is worth it. So that sucks for the Bulls and Bulls fans because it really shows you that there's not much hope for the organization, at least not in the recent future. But at the same time, if you're just a casual Bulls fan, it's fun to watch your team win. It's fun to watch guys hoop. So, you know what I'm saying? There's negatives and there's positives to this. But man, I had to talk about the Bulls. It would be like blasphemy to not bring them up with the way that they've been playing recently and everything like that. So yeah, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and all glory to God. Thank you.